and welcome to another episode of the It's Hard to Explain podcast. I'm Adam, and I'm here with Jake and Ethan.
Hello.
Kaegan's away on a trip right now.
Indeed, he is away with his lady, enjoying a nice, trip together.
Mm-hmm. So it's just the three of us.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a little different than our normal episodes. If you remember our Yappetite episodes, it'll be pretty similar.
Yeah, we just felt like, just sitting down, chit-chatting.
The shit.
Yeah, bullshitting.
And actual shitting.
Yeah.
Because I'm backed up.
I've shit my pants 3 times.
That's not a lie.
I went to the bathroom this morning.
This moaning? I moaned while I was in the bathroom earlier. I actually did shit today. Hold on. I lied to you. Never mind.
Good.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
I made a healthy bowel movement not but 10 minutes ago.
Me too. And I'm proud of myself because normally I have like a little step stool.
A step stool?
I said step stool. It's a little stool so I can shit better. You elevate your legs, it's better.
You're supposed to
So you can get up onto the toilet without having to jump,
Dude, I crawl on the toilet. I climb up there with my hands and shit. You know this.
All fours.
I gargoyle.
True.
But no, I usually have a stool to put my feet on to elevate my legs so I can make a better bowel movement. It helps. It does.
That's
Try it.
how you're
does.
supposed to shit anyway.
It does help.
I mean, that's how our ancestors did it.
Yeah, I didn't realize this until I talked to my mom the other day, but I've been using the same, back at her house, I was using the same stool. It was actually a step stool that I used to climb onto my preschool shitter. Yeah, and I didn't realize that. I just used it for 12, 13 years after.
If it ain't
She's
broken,
just
don't fix it.
I'm glad I'm getting my money's worth out of that.
That's on God, dude. I mean, it got its use. I mean, I think they threw it away. I think they threw it away.
Aww.
Yeah, they're like, "You want to take it?" I said,
Yeah.
"I probably shouldn't. The bathroom's already small."
Yeah.
Well, that's just you take it in your room with you, and you know how old folks, whenever they go to take a dump, they'll bring a newspaper for you. It's you bring your little stool.
I need one of those collapsible ones, that has the handle. You're like, well, I got to take a shit, and then
Kaegan,
take a
can
whole.
you hand me my step stool?
Right, or get a whole something called I would call it a shit case, I guess, and get a briefcase and fill it full of toiletries and the stool. So
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
like a
I'm going
hitman.
to patent it. Yeah. What?
It's like a hitman with
A
his
hitman?
little briefcase with his disassembled gun in it.
I sit on the toilet and I assemble my stool.
Yeah.
And then I put it under my foot. I had to use a litter box the other day. Hold on.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Let's run it back. I had to.
The bathroom is occupied.
Right. So I had to improvise, and there was a litter box next to the toilet, so I had to flip it over and put my feet on that, and it helped. It was good enough. It did the job. Don't look at me like that. It just had to be done. You understand.
I think you just take Henry in there with you and use him as your step stool. Just put your feet on him.
Like, Father.
Why have you forsaken me?
I got a cat, by the way. His name is Henry.
No, it's Hennard.
He's a sweet little boy. He has many names. Hennessy. My hen boy. My little hen boy.
Hennard Skinnerd.
Hennard Skinnerd.
I
Hennessy.
like
I already
Hennard.
said that. Yeah.
He's cute.
He is very cute. He's got a little cone on right now because he licked his shit dry. So he made a hot spot. So he had to put it.
The cats do that a lot.
Yeah, because they always groom themselves, and sometimes, if you're lucky, they'll find one spot in particular and lick it raw, and then you have to give it ointment and antibiotics and shit. So.
Sometimes at the shelter we'll have cats that just break skin just licking that one spot, and it's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't help that their tongues have essentially a bunch of little teeth on them.
Yeah,
No.
That's for collecting hair, though.
Yeah, true.
And then
Have you
they
seen-
throw up because your hairballs because they lick the hair off.
I assume y'all have seen images of a tiger's tongue, right?
Yeah.
It's like little spines.
It's the same as a cat's tongue, but it's scaled up to the size of a tiger.
Yeah.
So they're just huge. They're bigger than they're probably pretty close to the size of your pinky finger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like sandpaper.
that's exactly
They
what
got
it
little
feels
bristles. Yeah.
Anyway, fellas,
Home?
I assume today's been pretty uneventful for both of you.
like. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just been doing homework.
Yeah. So how was y'all's week? This previous week. Now that we're at the
Fucking
weekend.
long week,
Oh
dude.
my god, I
It
had a
was long week.
7-day work week. So glad it's over.
Wah.
Wah.
Fuck you.
How fun. Yeah, it was just a long week, man. And in between like school work and doing schoolwork at home, never a fucking day off. I'll tell you what.
Jake's on his grind. He's on his hustle.
He
always is.
I got 2 more semesters left in school. This one and the next one.
2
and I'm
semesters.
done. Yes.
Yep.
So I'm trying to get my shit done.
Power
and
your
get
way
out of there.
through.
Yeah, it's getting. I wouldn't say it's getting hard because in high school I would. The beginning of high school, I just would not do my work. I was an awful kid. I just would take the L, take the Fs. I'm surprised I never got held back, which was like a big fear of mine, which you would think that would make me straighten up and do my shit, which it did eventually. But I figured, I found out that if you do the fucking work in high school, you're going to pass. Like, I don't know. Like in college especially, I would just do my work, do the assignments, turn it in, always get A's. Like it didn't matter if I tried or not. It was weird. It's like you could put in minimal effort and still get,
I
a good grade.
never did my work, no matter what. I mean, I did enough to where I could like barely pass with like a low D, but one year I didn't give a fuck and I had to do summer school.
I don't know how I dodged summer school and being held back. It's a fucking mystery. But in college, if you just do your work, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I procrastinate too, but I've gotten to the point where, okay, I got to do this shit. This day. I've become very plan oriented because of that. Because if I get stressed, I spiral and I get nothing done. That helps nobody. So I really, really try to manage my time efficiently when it comes to homework or really anything that I have to do, so it's not piled up.
Yeah.
See, it's like that fucking meme of like in high school, this shit ain't gonna fly in college. That shit in college, it's like this dude floating away. Because like college professors, they don't give nearly as much of a fuck as high school teachers.
Sometimes they won't even
sometimes.
Like come into
every
class.
now and again you'll get a professor that like really rides your fucking ass.
I will say that I've throughout my college career, I've had mostly chill professors. I've had a handful that are pretty strict.
Yeah.
Like this one professor that I told you guys about earlier before we started recording. He's pretty punctual. He'll make you get your shit done. And it's like an F. It's like you either get an F or you don't. Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
There's no in between. Yeah. So
I went to college for 3 semesters. And I feel like I saw about every type of professor while I was there. Like I said, I had a couple that did not care. They didn't count attendance. They didn't really care about anything.
Yeah.
They really, like you said, it was kind of a situation where, like, if you did the assignments, I doubt they even, like, actually looked them over. It was like, oh, they did the assignment at least. So they just kind of would be like, okay, that's a pass.
Right, that's kind of what they do. Like, did you do the work? If you did, you're good. If you just don't turn anything in, you don't get the grade. Like, it's kind of like that most of the time. And
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's not...
Because you don't get an accurate...
Depends on the career you're going into.
I agree, because you don't get an accurate grade.
Yeah.
They just look at it and they're like, oh, you did it.
Whenever I was dealing with that, it was more for the stuff that you learned during your, like, first semester, first year of college. It was, like, all the general education shit, math, science, English, sociology. General shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you start to, like, move up in the years... and you get to the more like specialized classes based on your major, that's when it like they kind of start to teach better.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Because I mean that's the shit that actually matters,
right,
to your major and what job you're looking to do.
It doesn't help also, like if you're a procrastinator, it doesn't help if a lot of your classes are online by choice or otherwise. Because a lot of online classes are just self-paced. Yeah. So you do them at your own pace. They do have due dates and deadlines, but that you don't hear from that professor. You don't have lectures from that professor or anything. And they just give you instructions to do something, and it's your job to get it done and turn it in by the due date.
Yeah.
Some classes are so hands-off in that way, and it's kind of frustrating. But at the same time, it's like, cool.
It's kind of liberating.
I can do it at my
time. The same time.
It is, because... a lot of my classes have been art classes. I can just do that shit in my free time, and then turn it in. It's not like I have to, I've been having to write essays and shit like an English major or something, which I am glad that I don't have to do. But it does help that a lot of my classes were art-based. And a lot of my classes were online classes. Mm-hmm. It depends. Some people really learn better in the classroom. So,
see, whenever my education, it was in school, I was, for the longest time, I was like a straight A student. Like all the way from like kindergarten to like 8th grade, straight A student. And then whenever I got into 9th grade, you know, when your grades actually matter, whenever I got into 9th grade, I just started being like, I really do not care about this. And so in 9th grade, I got my first D ever. And 10th grade, I failed my first class.
Oh, man.
11th grade, I failed most of my classes.
Oh, no.
I never had to do summer school because I managed to, you know, pull enough credits and shit to be able to graduate. And, you know, in 12th grade, I kind of buckled down a little bit because I wanted to try and get my GPA back up to an acceptable level to go to college.
Yeah.
And so I kind of buckled down my senior year a little bit. So that got me into college. But once I actually got to college, the only reason I ever went to college is because most of my family wanted me to go to college.
Yeah.
And they expected me to go to college and do great things. And then once I finally got there, I did not care because like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just there, and I didn't have like an end goal in sight. That was the reason why I didn't do well in college, is because I didn't have something I was aspiring for.
I agree entirely with like not having a goal, not really having a place really, or a purpose or a plan.
Yeah, I changed my major 3 times.
I did take a gap year right after high school. And I think that was beneficial because a lot of kids in our grade in high school went straight to college, like right after. Yeah. Yeah. So that, I mean, it made me very, very stressed to hear that everybody around me has a plan, but I don't. Like
I don't think everybody actually has a plan. They're just kind of freeballing it.
That's exactly what I did because I was stressed. I was like, I have to find something. I don't want to be going back. And there's nothing wrong with this, but I didn't want to, at the time, I didn't want to have to go to college and start college in like my 30s or later. You know, I felt like I needed to do something. Yeah. So I went to ASUTR in Malvern for like an associate's degree, an associate in arts. And there I just did a lot of like general education classes. And I got my associates. But then after that, I was like, I don't know what now? What am I going to do now? So it took me like a few months to look around to colleges that I could afford, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to UALR, and though it was the most affordable, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I had to get like a career coach that they have up there. And what they do is you either meet in person or you go to a Zoom call, and they'll walk you through like, does this interest you? Does this interest you? Do you want to do this? And then you say yes, no. There are a lot of yes, no questions. And at the end of it, I decided that I wanted, quote unquote, to do web design and development because it was the most interesting thing to me. Mm-hmm. And the problem with me is not a lot interests me. So
you're in a dilemma.
It's a dilemma because I was like, that seems interesting enough. Everything else that she mentioned just didn't hit. It was like, I don't really want to commit time to that.
Yeah.
And then we came across web design and development. I was like, that has, I wanted to do graphic design originally, like animation, but I fell away from that because drawing doesn't stimulate me. Yeah. Like I lost a passion for drawing as I got older. I still love to do art, but I gravitate more towards graphic arts, like digital arts, like logo design or
NFTs.
Yeah, the things that we do for our podcast, Yeah. That stuff interests me, but the coding part of web design and development is it could not be less interesting to me. I don't care for it at all. It's fun whenever you know what you're doing and you can kind of put the puzzle pieces together and create something pretty neat. I mean, that's cool. That's all right. But I don't want to do that for the rest of my life, And even still, I'm about to finish college and I don't know where I'm going.
Like most people who are actually into the process of coding are masochists.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we've talked in the past, we mentioned that, coding it's learning a different language. I mean, it's a lot of new shit that I had to learn. And even now, like 4 semesters in, I'm still kind of lost, if I'm honest. Like, I picked up on a lot of things, but there are also a shit ton of things that I just don't understand them fully.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't taken the time needed to do your own research on, the outside, when you're not in class, when you're not doing these things. And that's my fault. But I don't do that because it doesn't interest me. I love half of my degree. The other half is not
it's
it.
just
it's
whatever.
Yeah.
I've had the idea for a long time to kind of dabble and try and make a game.
A game?
And like kind of just self-teach myself coding and how like game engine works and shit like that, and try and make something in like Unity or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then just put it on Steam, see what happens. But just it's a big
task, man.
learning curve.
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing. Not to mention just the idea of creating something from the ground up and then putting it out there for everyone to tell you it's dog shit. Like,
that's what we've done here.
Yeah.
That is what this podcast is.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the creator of FNAF did? Like, he made a game, everybody hated it, and he was like, I'm just going to do something different.
I think so, yeah. Scott Cawthon,
Yeah.
I think his name is. Yeah. Oh, shit, what was I going to say? Like you were saying, Adam, making a game, I've thought about that too. And I actually, before I went to UALR and found the degree that I'm currently working for, I watched a documentary about the 2019 or 2018 God of War game being made. And whenever I watched that documentary, I saw like how there's a bunch of moving parts to making a video game, and how it kind of encompasses every kind of art that you can think of.
Yeah.
Like music, like graphics, like, I mean, you got everything,
Anything that I would have the idea of making, it is not nearly to the scale of like a AAA game like that.
Right, but regardless, you still have
simplistic, but you still have to work on a distinct
music,
style,
art. I mean,
when it comes to the art, the music, the colors, just the colors that are involved, like the color.
Right.
Like, I'm sure everyone here knows Pirate Software.
Yeah.
Thor. Dude's awesome. He's kind of in hot water right now because of a hot take on something.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, nothing too crazy. He just had an opinion that almost nobody agrees with. But,
damn.
He was talking, like, I'd see his shorts on YouTube all the time. And whenever I'm on the, the death scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And one of
Doom
the...
scrolling.
Yeah, doom scroll. That's what it is, not death scroll. He talks about the game that, he's made a lot. Heartbound, I think is what it's called. And talking about, like, whenever they pick the colors and stuff like that, and talking about, like, how they designed the game. And it's very interesting, because I remember one that stuck out to me, because I'm colorblind. You are too.
Yes.
I am not. I'm genetically superior.
Yeah, okay.
Ethan's blonde hair, blue-eyed, not colorblind.
Made in Hitler's image.
Yes.
I don't speak German, unfortunately.
You should
That's
learn.
what you want us to think.
I was trying to.
But I saw one specifically that really jumped out at me. Whenever he was making Heartbound, the main color palette for Heartbound is purple and gold. And the reason for that is because, like, in terms of, like, accessibility options, it's just built into the game. Because colorblind mode is usually different shades of, like a lot of the time in a game when you turn on colorblind mode, it'll change things to like a purple color or a gold color. And so he changed everything. He just made the whole game in purple and gold, so it's already like accessible to colorblind people. Like,
I mean, it's nice that it's accessible right out of the box.
And he was able to do it with the art style being cohesive and coherent and looking good to everybody.
I did not know that. I need to look at this later.
Yeah. That's just like, I see stuff about how they designed that game all the time. And that was the one that really jumped out at me, was just the fact that they built a lot of accessibility features directly into how they designed the art for the game. And I thought that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, game design interests me heavily because, like I said earlier, it has everything. Like storytelling, you can, if you're a writer, write a story. You know, if you like to create characters, you can do that too. If you want to make music for a game, you do that. I mean, there's so much that you could do in video game design.
Me and my roommate Cage, we have tossed around the idea of making a game together, because whenever he was in college, neither of us graduated, but whenever he was in college, he was in for design, like coding and game creation. That was his major. Was what the fuck is the major called?
I think that might be close to the name. I mean, I know different universities call it different things.
Basically game design.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it's called, is game design.
That was his major, and so he knows, like, of course, like I said, neither of us graduated, but he went to the classes and he knows a lot of the bare bones of coding and creating stuff for games and game engines and stuff like that. And we've tossed around the idea of making a game together, and he handles like the, digital, like the coding stuff,
like the back end stuff,
and the like creating the backbone of the game, and I would handle more of the creative projects and maybe learn some coding along the way. And we've tossed around the idea of making something together, and then we just kind of never did it.
I think you should revisit that eventually, man. I mean, I said not a lot interests me earlier, but there are things that I've always wanted to do as well. Like this podcast was one of them, and it's just one of those things where you gotta stick with it, man. You gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I started the podcast on a Google Doc. I mean, and now,
we've got a handful of listeners too.
Yeah. Actually getting started is the hardest part.
That is the hardest part. Actually,
like
getting
that's the biggest hurdle to overcome. Is like actually starting and trying not to lose steam and find love for the thing that you're trying to make.
It's hard. Like burnout is real, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know some of us have been burned out already of this podcast. Just the constant recording. Sometimes back-to-back weekends. All the shit that we have to do in between recordings, like, creating our clips like Ethan does, or creating thumbnails, or making the videos, or editing, there's a lot that goes on. I mean, it takes a village, so.
Yeah.
But I agree, though. The hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, but I think it's something you should come back to.
Yeah.
Eventually, in some capacity.
See, and there are so many, like, it isn't like whenever it comes to game design, it isn't like, the olden days whenever they had to build the entire thing from the ground up, starting with the engine and then making sure all the physics in the engine worked, and then like just literally building a game from nothing.
You can use boilerplates.
Now there's so many tools available in game creation. Like you don't have to make an engine anymore. You can literally use one of the many engines that are available online, and including some that are just public resources, like Valve's Source Engine. They just let anybody use that shit.
That's pretty cool.
And like you can use the Source Engine. Unity was a pretty big one. Of course, they kind of shot themselves in the foot not too long ago with some decisions that they made. So people are kind of not using Unity very much as much anymore.
I think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I forgot what my next point was.
Sorry, dude.
It's fine. Basically, it's not as insurmountable of a barrier to start making a game as it used to be.
Right, and I mean, they have things, like modders. They can make shit for games without actually making games.
I thought about getting into mod development, but I lack the patience.
I understand entirely.
Like I can't sit down and commit to something like that. It's irritating to me.
See, and then you have other things like Roblox.
Yeah.
Where you literally go in and use all their stuff to make a game and then post it, and maybe people will like it, and if they do, you get a little piece of the revenue. Not much. Roblox takes some. Roblox takes most of it.
Like I said, you got to start somewhere, man. You can start like Fallout, I guess, for example. Or Skyrim. You could mod a single weapon, or you could mod an entire fucking texture, or whatever.
Or just basically a whole new game.
Exactly. You can.
Sometimes when I play like Fallout, I'll be looking for a mod. I can't remember what specific mod I wanted, but I'll just be like, I can't find a mod that I want, and I'm just like,
this is what I want. I can make
I'll do it myself. Be like Thanos.
Yeah, but I understand like the time that it takes to learn something like that, especially if you don't know anything about it, is hard to do. Like it's like we said earlier, starting is the hardest part. So like whenever you look at it, you look at the big picture, right? And you're like, that's a lot of reading.
Wow, that's a lot of
words. Too bad I ain't reading them. Yeah,
That's what I say as I sit down to start learning this stuff.
Yeah,
it's
like,
it can be overwhelming, especially
it's
if you don't take it bit by bit.
It's similar to like, like we said earlier with Ethan wanting to learn German. It's like,
German.
Germex.
Ethan wanting to learn German, or like anybody wanting to learn another language. It's, it's just like coding. It's like learning a whole new language.
Yeah. I mean, I learned a few words. Did I miss something?
No.
I said it's...
Did it pass?
I said, learning coding, it's the same as like Ethan wanting to learn German, it's just as hard. It's like learning a whole new language.
It was a stupid little
So
joke.
stupid.
Fuck, what was I going to say? The hard part about learning coding and other languages is syntax and like context, stuff like that. That's the really hard part about learning other languages, because I saw something really interesting when it came to like the Japanese language, and like if you translated all the words to English and spoke it in English, the way that they arrange their words is completely different to how we arrange our words in a sentence.
Yeah.
So I want to see if I can find the example, because it was really interesting.
I remember us talking about English. The English language is like one of the hardest to learn for like anybody that's...
Yeah, there's like multiple words that sound exactly the same,
And
but they have different meanings.
We do a lot of shit that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So,
Like for, F-O-R-E, is meant like before.
Yeah.
And then for, F-O-R, is like for something. And then for, the number 4 is F-O-U-R. So...
Yeah. How many theirs do we need, dog?
Yeah.
I don't know. We just have a lot of... We're quirky.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Speak
I've
English.
actually never tried to learn a different language other than Spanish in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I tried learning French in school, but I had a girlfriend at the time, so I didn't pay attention.
You you probably would have paid more attention if she was French.
Yeah, but
You'd
it was
be like, "Tell me
Canadian
more."
French, so it didn't really count.
Oui, eh? Or something like that. I don't know.
Oui, eh?
So basically what I was trying to say earlier when it comes to like sentence structure being weird.
Yeah.
So in terms of like sentence structure, English is what is known as an SVO language: subject, verb, object. So so basically it would be, I read a book.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have you're the subject, and then the verb, you read, and then the object, a book.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese is an SOV language, so it goes subject, object, verb. So instead of I read a book, it would be I book read.
That's some caveman speak.
Like,
They kept with it. They were like, it's hard. Like, don't fix what's broke. Don't
Fix what's already...
No,
Fuck!
that's not what I was trying to say. You get it though.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it if it's fine. It works.
If it works, don't fix it.
Wow.
Just the way that they like organize the words is completely different in terms of like how they structure their sentences.
They had the right idea though. It was right there. Like,
Me book read.
it was already. I'm not trying to bash on their language, but
Yeah.
it seems much simpler, I guess, than the way we do it.
Oh, English is such a
Yeah.
fucking convoluted mess of a language.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that it's like for a non-native English speaker, it is the hardest language on the planet to try and learn.
Which is so weird.
It-
It's so weird
yeah.
to think about because we obviously we speak it, so it's like
I'm okay.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say words that don't make sense.
Sometimes I'll say words that aren't real,
Sometimes I'll just say whatever's
like
in
skibbity riz.
Oh my god.
skibbity riz. Am I right? No more Sigmas jelking on the bed.
Mankind's going to wipe himself out. Mankind is going to wipe himself out in World War III, and they're going to rediscover those fucking words. And they're going to be like, this is their ancient religion or something.
Are we ever gonna evolve past the point where we can look at a toilet without saying skibbity?
Skibbity riz. Am I right? Dude, that's where that's our future. That's where we're headed. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't wait for everything.
It's going to be a
brain
new
rot.
form of colloquial English, I guarantee you.
It's gonna be like, I understand you, but I hate that I understand you.
Exactly.
Like that.
We're gonna be in our little nursing homes in our 60s and saying
Have you seen
Ohio?
She's speaking in tongues. Yeah, he's way gone.
The
something like
Sigmas are in Ohio.
Get out!
Get out! Have you guys seen those videos?
Mr.
What? Go ahead.
Mr. Pearson, it's time for your apple juice. Get out! Welcome back to another episode of the It's Hard to Explain podcast.
Just talking to a wall.
I'm, of course, Jake, and these are my friends. And then it's like you're sitting,
nobody there.
you're sitting in front of all three of our tombstones.
Oh, man.
It's like the scene from Logan with Xavier in his wheelchair going around.
Friends.
Try the new Taco Bell chalupa.
Hey, man, that is some earned advertising right there. Free of charge. I'll let you know all day about a fucking quesarito and a mental home.
I found the clip.
Also, I was going to say, have you guys seen those reels on Instagram where people are joking about World War III and it's like me when my bro says he's one hit or something like that? It's like the look of disbelief on their faces. It's like...
Me when my bro wipes out a whole village of unarmed civilians and says like
Squad
bots
wipe.
or
Or
something.
say like GG or something like that. Yeah.
Squad wipe.
Squad.
Dude, it's like in war, it's like a... they're cracked, and like...
After my buddy domed somebody, he's like, "Your dog water, man. Your dog water. Get out of here."
Dude.
I can only imagine, dude.
Oh no! That's
a bleak future.
The enemies get reinforcements. They're third partying.
They're partying. Bot drop.
A behemoth has arrived on the battlefield.
That's gonna. No.
That's what you hear when I show up to the function.
If I get drafted, that's not gonna be very preem. What?
I can't wait till we're all old.
Dude,
I can.
I love that. My favorite one is the fucking Willem Dafoe. It's like me in the nursing home. Fortnite.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that movie though, The Lighthouse?
I have not.
It's actually
seen
great.
Bits and pieces of it. My dad watched it. He didn't like it.
I'm gonna fuck the steak. That's a quote from the movie.
Sounds like a good movie.
It's a great movie, man. It's got the word Fortnite in it, and the guy's gonna fuck us. Like, come on.
Guy's gonna fuck a steak. It's got the word Fortnite and Willem Dafoe. Those are like my three favorite things.
Also, mermaid puss.
Mermaid puss.
It's in there. It's got it all. I'm telling you, we should watch it. Eventually.
Does it have dolphin pussy jelly?
Mermaid pussy jelly.
Mermaid pussy jelly.
Damn it! We said we wouldn't do
Fuck!
this.
Take it out.
Okay.
You still need to watch Storm of the Century.
I do.
I don't know what that is.
It's
We talked about
Stephen
it
King.
like months ago.
It's one of the Stephen King's movies.
Oh
Based
my
on
god,
his book.
dude! Were you both at the park at the apartments when I was on that that horse with the drink in my hand and it's a blurry picture? Were you there?
Yep.
I think so.
That picture was taken almost a year ago. That's crazy because it feels like it was a couple months ago.
Should we post it?
I probably wouldn't.
No.
See, I don't... I've been getting hit with a lot of stuff like that lately, where it's like I'll see a picture and it was like a year ago today. Like, do you know that picture that Shay took of me whenever I was like laying on the bed, like with my hands like this, and then I had my toes
Your
like
toes interlocked, yeah.
like interlaced like this,
Oh,
like I was
yeah.
contemplating with both my hands on my feet.
Contemplating twice.
I got that, like, you know, every now and again Google Photos will like give you that notification being like 1 year ago today, and I saw that and I was like, God damn.
Time flies, dude. I was talking to Ethan about it earlier, and
I just get memes. Like
Just
just
get
memes that I saved or whatever.
Oh yeah, it'll like automatically make like a slideshow of
Yeah.
random shit from whenever ago.
Like
Yeah.
when I first saved it or something.
It's like it's been almost, let's see, it's September.
September 7th.
It's been more than a year and a half since we've moved in to the apartment complex. It does not feel like it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been. I feel like it's been longer. I don't know. That's weird. That's
It
weird.
doesn't feel like it's been that long to me. And, like,
Really?
Yeah. Like we moved in January of 2022.
2022.
No. January of 2023. That's when we moved in to the apartment complex. And yeah, it's getting close to the end of 2024. It's been more than a year and a half.
That's wacky.
Yeah.
That is wacky. Where were Kayla and Kaegan when you moved in, Ethan? Because I remember it was me,
They were
Shay,
at
and Adam.
Kagan's house, his mom's house.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I feel like they were on a trip or something. I feel like they were on a trip. I don't remember. But that doesn't feel like...
Wait,
what?
Can you re-ask me that question? I think
So whenever you first moved in,
To here.
I think to this apartment.
Oh,
your family helped you.
See, I tuned you out halfway through the sentence. I
People
thought
do
you
that
meant
often.
like
It's fine. It's cool. It's cool.
Sorry, Jake
I'll
just
keep
kind
going.
of gets boring after like 5 seconds of listening to him.
Well,
no, you don't.
well,
I'm just kidding.
well.
Honestly, I don't know where they were when I moved in.
My point was that feels like forever ago, but it was only a few months ago. Like you haven't been here for a year.
I moved in at like May, I think.
That's crazy.
I think it's May. Either May or April.
Don't hit him with the Kagan response.
What?
Damn,
That's crazy.
It's the equivalent of those memes of like being someone texting their friend on iPhone like my dad just died and they respond with the warthog with the head exploding.
Him?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kaegan
That's
does
Kaegan.
many things that I do not like.
But it's what makes him unique.
It's a what is that Looney Tunes bit where Bugs is talking to Daffy and he's like, "You make fun of the homeless," and he basically said, "You're
those
racist."
are
And he's like, those are
quirks.
quirks. That's Kaegan.
You're
But-
racist, you're sexist, you're transphobic.
Yeah, he's like, "Those are just quirks." That's Kaegan in a nutshell. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just silly like that.
I also I don't know if you guys got a kick out of the post that I sent earlier in Hellboys talking about Kagan's mic. And it was the clip from Chicken Little where he's talking to his dad. And he's like,
Yeah, you have to
And it's like when the homie with the bad mic gets on and he starts shot calling, and you can like hear bits and pieces of him. That was fucking spot on. He's got a better mic now, but I mean, come on.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I recently rewatched that movie.
That is
It's
actually
on
a
Disney
great movie.
Plus. Yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty
Chicken
funny.
Little. Yeah,
My favorite is when Runt, the big pig,
yeah,
crashes out. He destroys the vending machine with the soda in it.
yeah.
He puts the dollar in and it spits it back out like 7 times, and he finally loses it. And he just give me a fucking soda.
Give me a fucking soda.
It's been forever
I
since I
love
watched
that show
movie.
or movie.
Yeah.
I call it a show.
Shut up.
Well,
The
you
sky is
shut.
falling. The sky is falling.
You're up. I was gonna say something. else.
Shut the fuck your
Shut
mouth.
the fuck your mouth. That's my favorite Ethan quote. There was a quote Kayla said the other day that actually made me genuinely laugh.
She has moments where she's funny.
She does. She called Kaegan a wacky fuck the other day, and I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
I was there for that. She was like talking about something. He said something. He's like, "Yeah, that's what I mean, you wacky fuck."
It was funny.
She doesn't have to try to be funny.
When she tries, that's when she's not funny.
Yeah.
We joke about her not being funny often, but she's actually pretty funny.
Sometimes.
Did you say
I went like,
Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Anything else been going on in your lives, guys?
No.
No. All right.
No, nothing crazy. This previous week was, I got Labor Day off because I'm cool like that.
Thought you were about to say I got laid.
I mean, that happens too, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
In Minecraft.
Yeah. No, I got Labor Day off because I'm cooler than Ethan. And
Me too.
Hey, I got holiday pay, so suck it.
So did
So
I.
did
bitch. And I got the day off and still got it. But yeah, it was a 4-day week, but some stores didn't order properly for the holiday, so they had to order up real big, and I worked 15 and a half hours yesterday. So
That's
was
my
fun.
favorite.
And then we had a really long Thursday as well. Usually on average we're like clocking out and leaving the warehouse by like 4:30 or so.
Yeah.
We didn't clock out until 6:15. So that was fun.
The whole week has just felt like super fucking long, dude.
See, I have a love-hate relationship with these holidays because everybody loves a 3-day weekend, but I don't get as much money because with overtime pay, like I get a lot of overtime as a driver, and holiday pay doesn't count towards overtime. So that's 8 hours of your overtime just gone. So my check was a lot smaller than usual, and I am floundering. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I'll make it through, but I don't really have much wiggle room this week.
Not much breathing room.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Debating on if I still need to go grocery shopping.
Like,
Groceries.
Alston was also en route yesterday.
That
was fun.
Did he get caught in the same traffic that I did? I was in traffic for a
he
good
got
hour
lucky.
or so.
He got lucky. His GPS was able to get him around it.
That's
pretty
good.
Quick. So I'm going to preface this.
Okay.
We might have to cut this portion out.
Okay.
We'll ask Alston.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, I probably need to ask him though.
Yeah. Like I'll talk about it, but we'll leave a moment of silence after I'm done talking, so we can cut this out. So he made an oopsie yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. Whenever he was driving, he made a wrong turn in a parking lot in one of his stores, and he was trying to find a way to pull out of the parking lot, and they had one of those car washes. I told Ethan about this last night. I may have told you as well. They had one of those car washes that you pull up into, you get out, and you wash your car yourself with a little spray gun and shit. And he was like, "Oh, I'll just pull through that." He didn't have enough clearance.
Oh, no.
Yeah, his box truck was a little too tall to pull through there. So he hit the roof of the car wash with his box, and it punched a hole in the box of his truck. So it's like on the very top, it's like dented in, and there's a hole that's probably about that long and that wide.
Oh,
About the size of a
poor
baseball.
guy.
About the size of what?
Baseball?
No.
No.
God.
It's like
I'd have too much anxiety driving a
probably
box
slip like
car.
a slice of bread through it. It's like it's like thin. It's like that.
Oh, it's
like
a thin hole.
Yeah, it's like that thin, and probably about as long as my palms. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did I say baseball? I'm an idiot.
So yeah, that was fun. I got to see it whenever he got back to the warehouse, and I was like, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
What's that from? Oh, that's the Cuphead thing. That's a good one. And he starts tweaking.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I would have too much anxiety driving a box truck because I already have anxiety driving my own car. So,
See, I was really anxious at first. I feel safer in that thing now than I do in my own car.
Whenever you told me about your job for the first time, I thought you drove an 18-wheeler, and I was like, I could not do that ever.
You have to be certified to do that, right?
You have to do
Forklift
special
certified.
classes. No. Different certification.
18-wheeler.
You have to do special
forklift.
classes, and you have to get a special
License.
you have to get a CDL, which is a commercial driver's license.
Yeah.
And for those box trucks, you don't need that. But for an 18-wheeler, you have to really... Yeah, it's like a whole different process. It takes time. It takes money. Yeah, and I don't think I could drive an 18-wheeler. So, but
yeah, I hear a lot of crazy stories about drivers.
I mean, last night, that's the reason I was in traffic is because an 18-wheeler hit the median.
Oh.
And I don't know if it caused a pileup or just he turned, or I don't know what the whole situation was, but that caused severe blockage.
Sometimes they don't sleep when they're supposed to,
sometimes
and
I get
they get a little
blockage.
I was talking about that in the beginning of the episode. I'm not as blocked as I used to be.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It seems like every time there's a fucking traffic jam down there, it's because an 18-wheeler did something.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the construction's still shitty down there.
Yeah,
Near
Yeah.
the place.
Near the place,
It's
yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
The place where we live.
Yeah, it's been going on for what, Adam? 5 years?
Something
6
like
years?
that.
Something like that going on. It's like I've heard that it is reported to be one of the worst construction projects in this area ever.
What are they even trying to do?
They're trying to. So the Haskell. Cut that out. just bleep that, I guess. So the exit where they're doing a lot of this work is the place. It's always been kind of bad and shitty. So the main thing was, one, the interstate there was built fucking ages ago, and it was old and shitty, and all the bridges were shitty. And so they're, one, like kind of widening and fixing up the interstate and fixing the bridges, and they're also trying to improve how efficiently traffic flows around that exit.
Quick fix. 18 roundabouts.
Got a good point. So I heard this dude. So you just made me think of something. I was watching Curtis Connor yesterday, like his video about crazy conspiracy theories, and he found one of some dude like going on and talking about how it's some dude talking about how the town that he was in didn't used to have tornadoes until they installed all those traffic circles. And the cars they drive around those circles and they create disturbances in the atmosphere, and that's why we have tornadoes now.
Fucking roundabouts.
Yeah. God. I'll take a red light any day of the week.
Yeah. I don't mind roundabouts all that much, but when there's like 5 of them consecutively, that's when I get a little angry.
Dude.
Get in a little bit of a foul mood.
Before...
Are you pointing at me, Ethan?
The one, there's a bunch over by Whataburger.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the place, but
Yes.
y'all know what I'm talking about, right? There's like 5 of them next to each other. It gets on my nerves.
It's like a figure 8. It's like 5 figure 8s stacked on top of each other.
I remember before I took over the route I'm on right now, I'm on the Fayetteville route now, I was running the Fort Smith route, and at the end of my day, I would deliver in Conway. And, dude, there's so many fucking roundabouts in Conway. I remember in that box truck, too, I would have to go through like 3 in a row just to get to like the store I was trying to get to. It was fucking, I hated it. Hated it with a burning passion.
Do you guys put your blinkers on when you do roundabouts?
If I'm turning out of the roundabout, or if I'm letting the person that's yielding to me coming up out to let them know I'm still going, I'll turn a blinker on then. But
yeah, I did that for the longest time. Even if I was like going in the roundabout, I would like turn my left signal on, and someone made fun of me for it, so I stopped doing it.
Well, there's a lot of people who use blinkers for like a left turn lane only.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go anywhere else. Where are you going to go? You can only go left, so why do you have your left blinker on?
I think it would be funny if there was a U-turn blinker on every car.
Dude.
There was just like a loot,
Dude, I always turn my blinker on, no matter what I'm doing. And I've made it a very strong habit because I hate motherfuckers who don't use their blinkers.
Same.
Yeah, I do too.
Especially if they hard brake in front of you and they like turn right or something. And
Why
you have
are
to
you
slam on the
slowing
brakes.
down?
So
Exactly.
even if I'm like...
Nice blinker,
Even
dumbass.
if it's like you said, it's the right turn only lane and I'm just turning onto the service road, I still use my fucking blinker just because it's a habit now. It's like ingrained in my muscle memory. It's like I'm turning, so my hand automatically flips the blinker without me having to think about it.
I mean, that's what they're fucking there for, and I hate it with a burning passion when people do not use their blinkers, and then I have to quickly hit the brake and stop, and then have them go where the fuck they need to go.
There's one place over by Subway.
We should start killing people.
Where you can turn onto the off
Maybe
of the service
not
road.
That. What'd you say?
There's a place over by Subway where you can turn off of the service road, and people do not use their blinkers, and I have to basically stop.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves.
Cry about it.
Cry about it. So, I guess we're getting ready to wrap up this episode. It's been very, very chill.
Yeah.
But I figured before we leave, we can talk about the future of the podcast.
We can talk about the future.
Future. Okay, so first thing is this episode is going to release on an off week. So it's not, we didn't schedule this episode. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be similar to the Yappetizer episodes. So like the Deadpool and Wolverine episode or the Yappetite episodes that we had a while back. But yeah. Yeah. That made me think of the Dipper.
Yeah.
And I know we've been talking about a video component, but realistically, that probably will not happen this year. But it will come. It's in the pipeline.
Eventually.
We're gonna focus. Even now, we're still learning proper mic etiquette. We're learning, mainly me, how to edit audio correctly and yada yada yada. And it takes time. It's a learning process. Even still this far in, we're still learning. We're still improving, and that's what we aim to do, is keep you guys updated and also improve the quality of our show, graphics, videos, what have you. I had something else that I was going to say. Our next episode, I believe, will be our first Halloween episode.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories?
Ghost Stories.
It's not Ghost Stories.
Oh.
That one is after
I'm
this
out.
upcoming one. Well, I'm done. You
Fuck this
lost
shit.
me.
You know what, Ethan? I'm just going to say it. Weakest link.
Hey, you agreed to this schedule, fuckos.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That's fair. But yeah, I think we have 3 planned Halloween episodes. We'll have 3 episodes in October.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a couple of bonus ones for like a couple of movies that Kaegan and I wanted to talk about.
I still want to do the second Cryptid Combat one.
That is the next episode.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We shouldn't say much more about it. But yeah. Cryptid Combat 2 is going to be our next episode.
I'm sure loyal listeners know what it is.
I'm really excited for that one too, because Cryptid Combat is one of my personal favorite episodes. Just because the idea it's super fun. I mean, the wheels that we did, Kaegan did an awesome job on those.
Cryptid Combat.
Just the scenarios that came up while we were recording that episode were gold. Like
when you got the fucking BFG and
I just blew up Bigfoot.
Annihilated. You got the swamp ape or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was like a swamp
Kaegan
Bigfoot.
got Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And
Kaegan got Bigfoot,
crushed him against his forehead
like a frat boy.
Like beer can.
That's one of I love that bit so much.
I remember I actually had a pretty dream combo, but it still wasn't very much to my advantage. I had a Molotov cocktail against a Wendigo.
Yeah.
It's like that's like their only weakness, but I don't know if I can get them with it. Like
they're pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to almost every episode that we have planned out, especially the October ones. Like we've got some fun ones that we've been wanting to do for a while, but we just hadn't done them yet. Do you boys want to add anything else? Like
I'm not very good at math.
You're not very good at math. Well, I'm not either.
You want to multiply?
Like
wink,
wink,
mate.
Like like
you want,
fuck.
You want to multiply?
Fuck.
That's
Sure, I don't see why not.
I can't think of anything I'd want to add. You know.
What are you guys thinking about the show so far? Like, have we done most of the things you guys want to do as far as like topics go?
pretty much, yeah.
I still have like a few of the ones that I threw out there that I'm waiting on.
That are upcoming.
I mean, I'm not a talkative person, so I don't like dream
we know.
of talking about things.
Ethan, why the fuck are you on a podcast?
I'm not a
Y'all
talkative
wanted me to
person,
fill
but
in.
I'm on a show that I talk.
I talk.
I talk whenever I have something of interest.
You wanted
to
to join, fuckhead.
Okay, at first I wanted to join, but then stuff came up and I was like, it's not going to work out. And then Alston filled in and then he bailed, so I had to fill in.
That's true. But the question is, do you still want to fill in?
Yeah.
That slot is yours, man. I mean, we're not giving it to anybody else until
Yeah, you
you're
aren't just
out.
like a fucking placeholder.
Yeah, that's like your spot. Kaegan could, we could take him or leave him.
Yeah,
but
honestly.
I
hate to bring this up while we're recording, boys, but I think I'm done. I hope you enjoyed my guest appearance on the It's Hard to Explain podcast.
Ethan?
It's like Charlie leaving Red Thread.
Ethan? No, Adam is our golden goose, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time to mention this, though, Ethan. I'm leaving also, and the podcast is entirely in your hands. That means you get to talk about anything you want.
Fuck.
Anything.
Anything.
This podcast is sponsored by the No Government BIPCOP license.
I don't know what that is.
Look it up.
No, don't.
It means government can't punish inflammatory speech.
What? What the fuck?
Well, that seems like as good a place to end an episode as any.
This will be one of our shorter ones as well. So.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us talk about, life
Nothing in
and
particular.
Literally
aspirations
everything.
and just kind of, just chit chat. Nice chill chit chat session.
Yeah.
That's-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like that's gonna do it for this episode.
Yeah, I don't see this one doing a lot of numbers, but it'll be out there for people to enjoy if they so choose.
Enjoy listening to this in the background as you try to fall asleep.
Yeah. Or if you just really hate your life and you want to hate it just a little more.
Oh, stop it.
Listen
We're not
to our
that
show.
bad.
You have no idea.
We're not that bad.
We don't know that because people don't comment. Please comment.
Yeah, please give us pointers.
Leave us feedback, please. We beg
want
you.
to improve.
Please.
We will do anything for you.
Please.
Anything.
I'll do anything for your approval.
We'll make a Patreon specifically to never mind. I'm going to leave it at that.
We're going to make an OnlyFans, and we will record an episode once a week completely in the nude with a video component, and you can see it on the OnlyFans.
I wasn't going to say it.
I'm good.
You can see Ethan's big old sweaty
That'll do
vagina.
Goodbye.
8 legs. 7 vaginas.
7 vaginas. Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
You can find this episode on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can check us out on social media. We have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Twitter. And
Twitter.
yeah, so check out our stuff. Like Jake said, we would love more engagement. Please leave
That
a
would
comment.
be awesome.
Yeah, leave a comment anywhere, honestly.
My mommy is the only one that comments, and sometimes Kayla. They're sweet people.
Yeah, they don't have the gumption, the guts to be able to tell us that.
They don't have the gall.
Like we're dog shit and we need to improve this, and this. So please do that for us. We need somebody to do that for us.
Indeed.
Anyway, I enjoyed myself. Thanks for listening.
Ethan did not enjoy himself. He hates you all.
He has a
and
gun in his mouth right now.
That is not true.
I should go get my Glock and rack it.
That.